guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today we are going to be making some lovely little hidden paper clips. Now I'm going to be using the little book embellishments that are in the Shabby and Vintage book embellishment digital kit that I've got out at the moment. And we've got all sorts of little books and things like that. I showed it to you in the Friday freebie video. So we got some bits and pieces in there which is obviously a book related. So I've got these lovely little book fronts and I'm just loving them. So I've got a selection here which I've cut them out. This one I cut out. I remember I said to you in the video that I showed yesterday, the Friday freebie, which are these journal cards. Now I put them on journal cards because they looked really quite fussy to cut out, and then if you're not very good with scissors, then you can just use them like this. But I have actually fussy cut one out and I just think they look really lovely. So that's how they look. So they can go on to any of your little, if you've got any little journal cards like that, you can just have it on there and have a completely different background. You could even put them on like a little bit of fabric or lace or something like that, but I just think they look so pretty. So, but today we are going to concentrate on making some beautiful little paper clips. Now these are really super simple. I've done lots and lots of hidden paper clips, and this one is just got a little bit of the paper clip popping up at the top. Now I have done these before very similar to this, but I think this just adds a really nice little touch to any of your sort of like paper clips. And I've got a little bit of velvet, a little bit of velvet ribbon on there, and they just slide on. This one here is a more of a sort of vintage one, but I'm just think this just looks so pretty. So I am going to be making another sort of simple-ish journal as well this week. Let me take that one off, that was on there a bit hard. That's the back. Oh, that's the back of those. So I've just put book paper on the back of them. So this one's just got a little stack of books on there, and it's just going from the side. So pop that on there, stick that on, but don't they look lovely? So really lovely and easy to do. I've got a little bundle of scrappy bits here, just to pop underneath the paper clips. Now I've got some bits and pieces ready, so just to show you. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of scrap paper and fold that in half, and then you want another piece that goes over the top like that. Okay, and then you want a nice paper clip. Now all depends what size paper clip you want to do, but these are a nice big one. Shall I measure it? Shall I measure these ones? They are about 1.5, just over 1.5 inches, or just over 4 centimeters. So they're nice biggy ones. So I'm going to pop that on there like that. And then this goes over the top. But what I'm going to do, because we want to see that little bit here that we can tie something onto, I'm just going to take a little nick out of here with a pair of scissors. So just from the middle bit, just take a tiny piece, just a little itty bitty bit. Can you see? So you've got like a little slit in there, and then that just slides over the top of your paper clip. Oops, if I can, if it's big enough. Would help if I pushed it up like that. Can you see? So that slides over, and then you've got, you don't have to have it that big, you've got that poking out of the top. So that's really simple. So all we're going to do now is glue this piece down. So let's just make the basic. I've got another, and I've opened my new fabric hack. Now I've been saving this, but my other one has just, I can't get anything out of it. They go very thick. I know you can water them down, which I think I will try and do with a little bit of acetone, but I've opened up my new one. Lie that down, and then what I'm going to do is just work out how far you want to pull that up. I'm not going to have it too high. Oops. stick that down. Now I'm just using some scraps of tea and coffee stain paper. These are just ones that I've just cut off the side of my papers like that, and then lift the back up, same again, just pop some glue on like that, and then we'll just stick it down, nice and simple like that. That's a little bit high, I think. Let's just push that in before the glue dries. Perfect. Well, I'm going to just pop the lid on so it doesn't dry up. Okay, so then what you want to do, make these a little bit bigger, because we can then sort of cut them down a little bit, because obviously you have little bits that are sort of like overhanging and stuff like that. So just cut them down just a bit like that. So that's about right. Now you can have it on a little wonk, or you can have it straight, however you like. But what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to open up this bit, and I'm just going to cut a little bit off the bottom like that, and then just round these off. If you've got a little corner punch, you can use that, but I'm just going to use my scissors just like that, and then that can just sit on there, because then it's easier to pop onto your page. So if you've never made one before, it's easier then just to slide on instead of trying to find the opening when they're both together. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move some of my bits out of the way, just give this a little ink around the edge like that. So I'm gonna make another journal, another simple one. What I'm going to do, I'll make that this week. I'm going to use my tea and coffee papers, my digital ones, because lots of you have said that you don't have tea and coffee paper, your own, and you can't sort of like make your own. So what I've done here, I've just printed off my tea and coffee papers here. I pumped on the back and on the front. I've got a mixture, so I'm going to be using those to make the journal. And probably this is the one from the Ko-fi, the Friday freebie extra for my Ko-fi supporters, and I'm not sure, I think I might use that as the front. I just think that looks so pretty. And look, this is the little book one that I cut out, little stack of books on there. I think that looks just so nice. So we shall see whether I'm going to use that or not. But look at that, that's really simple, isn't it? And lovely. Now on the back on here, I'm just going to take a little bit of book paper. I quite like this sort of like grungy end bit. Just tear that down. You just tear that off. Sometimes all this book paper is quite old, isn't it? So it's quite thin and very simple to sort of rip. That's a little bit of glue. Just a little bit of tacky glue on the back. Now again, you can pop a little book on the back as well if you wanted to. So you can have one either side. I'm just going to pop a little bit of book paper on there. Like that. Nice and simple. A little bit of ink. There we go. So that's the front. So did I ink around here? Let's just get rid of those little white bits where I cut it out. Like that. Pop that on there. What shall we have on here now? I've got, oh, let me put my lid on. Lots of little bits and pieces we can pop on the background. Little stringy bits, we don't want those. Shall we have a little bit of pink? A little bit of pink. Oh, that just fits. I must have cut that out. Oh, I cut that out. Oh, I'll tell you what I'm going to show you. This. I made a little dingly dangly. Now what I've done, I've covered one of the little books with some resin, with the UV resin, which is this one from Let's Resin, and I just want to see, I didn't put anything on this, I just put the resin straight on top of my printed digital, so I just want to see if the colour underneath changes before I start doing any more. So I'm just going to leave that for a couple of days and see. But I put 2 layers of the UV resin on there and popped it under my UV lamp, but I think that makes quite a nice little dingly dangly, doesn't it? So we shall see. I'll leave that for a few days, and if it's any good I will do a tutorial on it, because I think that looks really, really nice. Okay, shall we just pop some bits and pieces? Look, I got lovely, oh that's pretty. Shall we just have, like that, just layer a few little bits up and pop that on top. That looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, let's use, I'm going to just use this. I haven't turned my glue gun on today, so we're just going to use some of this Fabri-Tac. Let's pop that on. Just scrunch it a little bit. Like that. How much of this shall we use? Quite like it. I might pull that over just so it just comes over the edge a little bit. Then I'm going to take, don't think we really need it that long. This bit can go over there. So again, a nice way to use up all your little bits of fabric and lace, all your little off-cutty bits, which are really pretty. Let's scrunch that up. You can still see that. Let's bring it over just a little bit. And we want something this side, don't we? So we have a little bit of this popping out the side. A little bit of scruffiness, like that. Let's pop that on. And then I think, where's that other little bit I cut off? Let's just stick this on. I think I might just pop a little bit on there. And pop that on the top. These books, I just love them. I think they're lovely. Make perfect little paper clips, don't they? And I made some like what they called, little cluster pockets the other day, and I think these would add in to those. Perfect. Look at that. I think that looks really, really lovely and so simple. And then what we want to do is just pop a little, pop the lid on there, just pop a little bit of something. This one, I've already got a bow. This is quite a nice colour, isn't it? Now I need to make, now one of you lovelies, I can't remember who it was now, made some of these seam binding little flowers that I had a video on. Now I have run out, so I need to colour some of my seam binding and make some more little flowers, because when I saw them I thought, oh, I need more, I need some of those. I'm just going to try and push that down. I've pushed that in a little bit just while the glue's still, well, it allows the paper clip to move, but look at that. I just think that looks so pretty, doesn't it? Another one to add to that. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do one, I've got one, I think it's this one I was going to do, or is it this one? This is the one I was going to do from, no it's not, one of them I was going to do from the side. Was it this one? Or maybe it was this one. Let's pop that back on. This is like a one that I was going to do from the side. Now I've got one going that way, so I want to do one going sort of like this way. So I've got a little book front, and I'm thinking I might pop some of my little roses on there. Little rose trim. I did have some over here. I think just a little bit of rose trim in the middle of that would look really pretty. So changing it from sort of like almost like a plain vintagey one into a little shabby one. So let's take a piece of this and we will bend that over. That's just two. Don't need that much, but let's just cut that off. So again, that goes underneath. This goes on there, like that. And then what I'm going to do, just cut a little niche out of there, wherever the middle is. Just so you've got like a little slit in there. And then that just pops through that hole. Like that. So really, really simple. We can move it in and out actually before, after we've glued it, because we've got a little bit of wiggle time, haven't we? Let's open this up. Let's take that. Oops. Gosh, I don't know why I get so messy. So much glue stuck to my fingers. I'm just such a messy crafter, I think. Okay, let's just add a little bit of glue to this. Like that. Now again, you can, if you're not a glue user and you're sort of like normally a card maker, because a lot of card makers, I believe, or I used to, when I used to make cards, use double-sided tape. So you could always use double-sided tape to do this. But then you wouldn't have so much wiggle room, would you? Just pull that out. Yes, I used to make lots and lots of cards. Well, I still do make some cards. I do get orders from friends here in Portugal that like to have handmade cards made for people. So that's quite nice. I do get back into that now and again. There we go. Okay. So we want it this way, don't we? I'm going to pop the lid back on here for a second. Squidge that down. Right. How should we have this? I think we'll have to have it like that, because we can't cut too much off the top and bottom, can we? Oops. Just a little snippet. A little snippet off there. Again, open it up. Just like that, and just cut a little bit down like that. Oh, it doesn't look very level, does it? Cut that off again. Let me do that again. There we go. Easier with my little ones, isn't it? A little bit easier to get in there. There we are. There we go. Just round it off. You don't have to round it off, but I think it just looks good like that. Then you don't get the corners sort of caught. Now let me find my ink underneath all my bits and pieces there. Okay, I hope you guys are having a lovely weekend. It's very, very quiet here. It's Saturday afternoon and it is quiet. There's no gardeners, there's no noise, which makes a big, big change. Everybody seems to be quiet today, which is nice. Okay, so there we go. Oops. Let's pop these bits out of the way. Now, I'm going to make sure I pop it on this way. So look at that. Lovely. Now, I think we go for a little bit of this underneath. Let's just go for a nice wrinkly bit. I might have that on the bottom. It doesn't matter, does it? Because it's going from the side, we could have a nice wrinkly bit on the bottom. What should we do? Cut there. There we go. Just scrunch that on. Okay, let's just stick that on there for now. All the way around. Perfect. Put that on. Oops. Just scrunch it up a little bit. Like that. Now this little one, this will dangle down, so you could have a little dingly dangly hanging off there, couldn't you, as well? I think that's what I did with my last ones, that I had the paper clip poking out. Okay, let's just ink. Wonder if you could sort of like make some book pages. Ooh, let's have a go. Just doesn't have to be at the top, it could just sort of like be down the side. How could we do that? What should we do? Should I get a piece of this? That's quite hard. But let's see. How big is that? I might just... Let's just see if this will work. Let's pop, oops, a little bit. So just get some scraps of paper and stick them on top of each other like that. Let's see if this will work. Like that. Just so it looks like you've got some book pages under there. Don't want that, I wanted it to be a bit more open there. Let's have a look. Let's just cut this. Oops, was that the right end? I think I've just squashed it down now. I wanted them a bit more sort of open. I'll ink it a little bit so you can see them a bit better. What do you think? Just on there. That's quite nice, isn't it? So you can just about see it. I might put a few more on there actually. What's that? I think the bigger the better. Right, so we want 2. Let's just, whether it will make much difference, I don't know, but we shall see. Let's stick that on there. Just like a little faux pages, isn't it? Put that on. Let's just stick one more, oopsie daisy. Let's pop one more on there. Okay. Chop that down, we don't need that many. Can you see? So it looks like we've got sort of pages. Let's just ink them a a little bit so you can see them a little bit better. Is that going to be long enough? There we go. I quite like that. Let's cut that down. I'm going to pop, what should we use? I think we'll be fine with this. Can you see? So it just looks like it's a book, a little bit open, all the pages. Chop that off. Where did my ink go? There we are. There we go. Can't sort of see it. I hope you can sort of see it. Look, so it looks like you've got the pages coming out of the book. Perfect. Right, do we want anything else on here? What else shall we pop? We could pop a little bit of, oh, let's pop a little bit of this on there. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? Just down this side. I think, what did I do? I had some, where did that little velvet ribbon go? Let's have a look. I've got some, here we go, it's in here. Lots and lots. I have so many little pots of bits and pieces of ribbon and lace. Let's stick that down, shall we? Stick that down. There's enough glue on there. I think there's enough glue. Chop that little bit off. Pop our little book on there. That. Look at that, that's lovely. I'm going to stick this on. Stick that down. There we go. Perfect. Now I will do, where's that little, there we go. Let's add a piece of this. Should we just have 3? I think 3 is the number, isn't it? Should we have that little bit of green in there? Little odd number, that looks nice, doesn't it? I think we need, gosh, we need a little bit of this, or should we have this? Have I got a scrappy piece there? What's this piece? That might work. Let's just get this little piece. A little piece of this as well, just a little corner. Scrabble that up, a little bit of glue, get that on there, stick that down. And then put this on the top, just so we've got a little layer of bits and pieces underneath there. Oh, that looks lovely, doesn't it? So this piece opens up here, like that. So that would slide on your page, so that's lovely. You can always, this one's blank, so you could always put something on there, a word or something. So, do you know what I mean? You can put whatever you like on the front of it. So What shall we have? Shall we have a little bit of this hanging off? Or shall we have purple? Maybe we'll have purple because I think it will go with the little flowers. So let's just take that off there a minute. Pop it through the little hole. Like that, if I can. A little bit's out of the way. And then just tie it in a little knot. Like that. Perfect. Oh, I can hear somebody out there drilling now. So I think maybe we will be in for a noisy afternoon after this nice quiet morning. There we go, little sort of bow. Now if you've got any ready-made bows, you could probably stick that on there as well, but I just think these are lovely and so simple to do and lots of fun. So there we go guys, where are they? That's this little one that I've done there. So let's have this bigger piece. So that one fits on the top like that, and then we've got this one which goes in there on the side. So I have got 5 lovely little paper clips ready to embellish my journal, to pop things in. So again, we've got our little cards. This is an open book, so then we've got our little journal cards just to tuck underneath, which are lovely. So I will be making more embellishments. Look at these lovely belly bands that I've got, which are books all in a row. I think they are beautiful, loving them. Can't wait to start making the journal. I will start that on Monday probably, but look at these, absolutely beautiful. So there we go guys, that's our fab, simple, easy paper clips. Just look fabulous. I'm loving them. So there we go guys, thank you so much for joining me. I've got another few I'm going to make now here, ready for my journal. All right guys, well take care, have a fantastic rest of the day, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right guys, bye bye.